You're still tuned in to NBS Live at 9, the world of business. While Uganda projects revenue above $30 billion from its oil and gas sector, the landmark deal announced by COP26 to end international public financing for fossil fuels continues to stir controversy among oil and gas stakeholders. Some argue oil, coal and gas are necessary evils for development in low-income countries, while others say the element of sustainability should be firmly woven within the sector planning purposes. Hakim Wampamba has more.
Hearing no objections, it is so decided.
Sealed, the Glasgow Climate Pact was considered, albeit sharp criticism on the contentious sector.
We do not need to phase down, but to phase out coal and fossil fuel subsidies.
The keywords phasing out or phasing down carry with them plights of all producing countries, Uganda inclusive. But according to Frank Muramuzi, the Executive Director, National Association of Professional Environmentalists, this deal, just like many others, will not bear results.
Just a game to blindfold us and the low-income countries.
However, Diana Taremwa, the Extractives and Climate Officer at the Water Governance Facility, says that this time round, dynamics could be different, thus giving rise to some degree of risk.
There's a risk of stranded assets. We could end up with ECOP being a stranded asset, all this oil and gas development being stranded.
That risk needs to be put in context of also the anticipated growth of the global economy. If the global economy is going to continue growing, you have to ask yourself what will drive it.
As the deal to end international public financing for fossil fuels in pursuit of greenhouse gas emission cuts in line with holding the global temperature rises within the 15 centigrade limit. Abdul Chibuka, a member of the governing council at the Uganda Chamber of Mines and Petroleum, shared his views on the fate of Uganda's advanced fossil fuel investments and infrastructure developments.
Uganda as a country, the model it has used for investing in oil and gas is what is called a cost recovery model. So the foreign investors, Total, Sinopec and others who are coming here are investing their money.
The energy sector, however, insists that the demand for oil, gas and coal are set to increase in the medium term. The Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, for example, only sees a plateau in oil demand in 2035, while the gas demand is expected to peak in 2040, according to the latest report by the International Energy Agency. There is lack of clarity, however, on how gains from the oil and gas sector can be maximized while being alive to the environmental concerns.
Let's embrace these technologies. One of the examples is the commitment to use solar energy and other renewable energies in the heating of the pipeline.
As the fate for resource-dependent economies already devising technologies to capture carbon emissions remains unclear, Tutu Mwebazepo, the Executive Director, Pro-Biodiversity Conservationists, Uganda, is already late.
We will talk about the technology to be used, sustainable technology to be used, and you start planning it now. You'd be thinking of a technology, you'd be thinking of using it in like 8 years to come. Yet we're expecting oil in approximately 2 years.
As developed economies increasingly substitute fossil fuels with renewable energy, experts have given advice.
Is to align the national climate change policy and mainstream it into all these other policies.
Should start by giving NEMA the mandate and the political will to be able to enforce compliance with the conditions in the environment and social impact assessment reports.
Is Uganda paying the price for the delay in extraction of her oil and gas resources? Hakim Wampamba, NBS, Live at 9.